I just want to jump on here and communicate. Today we're going to talk about this week's tour portion, Minneapolis. Uh, before we begin, I'm grateful that you all are here. Before we talk about anything else, I want to ground us in gratitude, which is what Jews have always done, and just offer thanks. Thanks for today. Thank you, the source of everything, for returning our breaths and returning our breaths today. I am grateful to be here. We should be grateful to be here, awake, and still responsible. Um, and also, I want us to understand that we are trying to hold the pain of a community, pain of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and other states, and we are holding this pain without looking away. And so as we move into this week's tour portion, Parashat Bo is the tour portion where power is exposed for what it is. Pharaoh is warned, confronted, um, and given chance after chance after chance to change course, and he doesn't. Bo is the moment when God stops negotiating with an empire. The plagues are not just random acts of cruelty, they are revelations, stripping Egypt of its illusions that power is permanent, stripping Egypt of its illusion that its power is permanent, that domination is stability, and that violence brings order. Bo teaches us something uncomfortable and deeply relevant. When a government refuses to see the humanity of people, it escalates. When power is challenged, it tightens its grip. And when leaders mistake control for legitimacy, destruction follows. This week, many Jews are in Minnesota, standing with the people of Minneapolis, including many of my rabbi and clergy colleagues. They are showing up as witnesses to state-sponsored violence, the state being our federal government. And it matters that they're there as witnesses, because Bo reminds us that liberation does not happen in silence. The Israelites, the Israelites aren't trying to leave Mitzrayim because Pharaoh has changed his heart. They leave because the moral order of Egypt has collapsed. The moral order of Mitzrayim has collapsed, and that collapse was visible. Bo tells us that when power is built on dehumanization, it eventually devours itself. And here's the part that we don't talk enough about. God does not remove Pharaoh by force. God reveals the Pharaoh to people. The plagues show the truth of the system. And that's where we are right now. What's happening in Minneapolis is a revelation. Masked immigration enforcement going door to door in Minneapolis, looking for brown people, taking citizens in some cases, and people are being disappeared. A revelation of what matters when militarized power is unleashed without accountability. A revelation of what happens when protest is treated as threat. A revelation of what happens when democracy is hollowed out, but still wearing the costume of law and order. And Parashat Bo insists that legality is not the same as morality. Slavery was legal in this country. Forced labor was legal in this country. And the killing of children was legal in Mitzrayim. Torah doesn't ask whether Pharaoh followed the law. Torah asks whether Pharaoh upheld human dignity. And the answer is no. So the question Bo asks us is not, is this permitted, but is this just? The question that Bo asks, is this just? For Jews, especially American Jews, this moment demands clarity. Black folks and Jewish folks and other marginalized folks in this country know what it means when state decides, when the state decides that certain lives are expandable. We know what it means when power labels people as dangerous to justify violence. We know what it means when silence becomes survival and survival becomes complicity. Bo teaches us that memory itself is resistance. Torah says, tell your children, tell them what happened, tell them what you saw, tell them how power behaved when it thought no one was watching. That's why Jews are showing up in Minneapolis. That's why so many clergy are showing up in Minneapolis right now, because we refuse to look away. Bo tells us don't accept it. The Torah says darkness was so thick it could be felt, but the Israelites had light where they lived. Light isn't about, this light wasn't optimism, light is moral clarity. So the Torah says that darkness was so thick it could be felt, but the Israelites had the light of moral clarity. And moral clarity right now means saying this is wrong, what's happening in our country is wrong, what's happening in Minneapolis is wrong. This is dangerous. This is not the society we are willing to hand, at least it's not the society that I am willing to hand to our next generation. As Jews, our task is not to protect power, our task is to protect people. Our task is not to be comfortable. We have to be willing to give up a little bit of comfort if we expect things to change. And may we refuse Pharaoh's logic. May we stand with those targeted by state violence. May we remember that liberation always begins with truth. And may we have the courage to say what Moses said, let my people go. Not some of them, all of them, our elders and our youth, our sons, our daughters, the native born, those not native born, the stranger among us, our neighbors, our friends, every shade of skin, every tongue, and every story, let my people go. As it is written, we will go with our young and we with our old, with our sons and our daughters, let our people go. Shabbat shalom, my friends.